Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today just to go over some information that I saw that seems a little concerning, and it's kind of falls under the category of like, is there something we need to know, guys? Something going on here? So this article is from May 23rd. It's from the National File. It's called U.S. Senators Given Satellite Phones to Prepare for Communication System Takedown. And that was the headline alone, without me even looking at the article, was like, wait, somebody want to let the people know what's happening out there? Like, is something going to happen? Why is this going on? So we'll get into the article and see what it says. But the subheading here says, members of the United States Senate are receiving satellite phones in preparation for a man-made disaster that takes out communications. So that's fun. Article says, members of the United States Senate are being issued satellite phones in anticipation of and preparation for a man-made disaster that takes out communications and renders cell phones, landlines, and the internet useless. What was that TV show that was on a number of years ago? Revolution, I think it was, where basically all the electricity on Earth just went away, and it was essentially back to like the Dark Ages or something like that, but like with guns, because those still worked. So yeah, so I think that's what they're preparing us for. It seems, or at least preparing the Senate for. Forget the regular people. Article continues, says the satellite phones are being issued by the Senate Sergeant at Arms, a former National Intelligence and U.S. Army Cyber Command officer. So a new report from CBS reveals that the Sergeant at Arms of the United States Senate is issuing taxpayer-funded satellite phones, of course it's taxpayer-funded, to U.S. senators to prepare for a man-made disaster that takes out all or part of America's communication systems like landlines, cell phones, and the internet. According to the CBS report, while all 100 U.S. senators are eligible for the satellite phones, so far they've been issued to roughly half of them, and the partisan makeup of those who've received phones is unclear. Oh, that would be just wonderful if it was partisan. How about just give it to everybody? Or none. Something like that. This is in addition to the satellite phones, and as reported by CBS, Senate Sergeant at Arms Karen Gibson, a former National Intelligence and U.S. Army Command officer, is also recommending the U.S. Senators new office and home security features like duress buttons and safety glass to reduce the risks of attacks. I mean, given the hyperpolarization of politics these days, I don't really see an issue with them, the senators, that is, like fortifying their homes or anything like that. That just seems like a thing that makes sense to me. I don't know what a duress button is. I'm just thinking of like the Staples commercial, like the button, the easy button, but obviously that's not it. So I don't really know what that is, but yeah, safety glass, because you got people that are going to do things. But okay, yeah, so that's fine. Make sure your place is secure. Nothing wrong with that. She's even set up a demonstration space in the basement of the Senate's Russell office building where senators can come check out the new taxpayer-funded security and communication products. Of course, we're all paying for it. So this embedded thing here, picture, I guess, is what it is. It says, in testimony before the Senate Appropriations Committee last month, Senate Sergeant at Arms Karen Gibson said satellite communication is being deployed to ensure a redundant and secure means of communication during a disruptive event. I mean, at this point, I'd say, does she know something we don't? It says, Gibson said the phones are a security backstop in case of an emergency that takes out communications in part of America. Federal funding will pay for the satellite airtime needed to utilize the phone devices. DHS advisory said satellite phones are a tool for responding to and coordinating government services in the case of a man-made or natural disaster that wipes out communication. Gibson has also opened an office demonstration space in the basement of the Russell Senate office building to offer senators and staff an exhibition of new home state office security upgrades. The demonstration room offers exhibitions of duress buttons, mail screening devices, and safety glass to reduce risk of attacks. Okay. Article continues. It says, while the CBS report did not mention any specifics regarding the man-made disaster that Gibson and the U.S. Senate could be preparing for, it did anecdotally mention the J6 U.S. Capitol protests. Okay, yeah, because, that was awful and everything. Nobody passed away from it at all, but okay. It says the report also mentioned a recent attack on the office of Democrat Virginia Rep. Gary Connolly, which injured two of his staff members. Yeah, I heard about that. Like some dude, I think he went in there with a baseball bat and started swinging. So yeah, that's unacceptable. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. The attack, which was carried out by an Asian man, oh, here it is, okay, yeah, it was an Asian guy with a baseball bat, and said was part of a wider spree of assaults in which the man had been charged with an anti-white hate crime. CBS neglected to mention the anti-white aspect of the Connolly office attack in its satellite phone report. Of course it did, it's mainstream media, and if anything goes in a direction that they don't want it to go in, then they're just gonna not mention it, so it's a lie by omission. This is a May 15th attack at the Fairfax, Virginia office of Rep. Gary Connolly. One of Connolly's constituents is accused of attacking two of the congressman's staffers with a metal baseball bat. Both are briefly hospitalized and are recovering. So that's embedded from CBS News. So, okay. So it says the issuing of satellite phones to U.S. senators and the Sergeant-at-Arms open mentioning of a man-made disaster that takes out the U.S. communication system harkens back to the Obama administration, a time in which the federal government was seemingly obsessed with developing a kill switch to shut off America's access to the internet at a moment's notice. Yeah, that'll go over well. You want an actual revolution? Well, you're probably going to have one if that happens. As the idea of a kill switch was staunchly supported by then President Obama, of course it was, who, after Congress failed to pass kill switch legislation, implemented a version of a federal internet kill switch by executive order. Of course he did, because if he can't go through legislation, he's just going to be a dictator, because of course that's what Obama did. It says giving executive branch agencies the power to control telecommunications and the internet during natural disasters and security emergencies. And that's the end of the article. But yeah, that's all we need is more of the federal government telling us what's going on, because they're so good at it. A certain disease that was going on for the last few years, a certain pandemic, that turns out, they were wrong about everything. So yeah, they're real good at this sort of thing. So anyway, what do you guys think about this? Seems a little bit alarming to me that this is coming out. I mean, I'm personally not really expecting anything, but in this day and age, you never really know. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.